tooling, et cetera, where it could make it difficult to go to a vendor and say, hey, we want to take these 20 SKUs and just take it down to, say, 4 SKUs in order to drive SKU profitability. That might be difficult for a vendor to scale it down like that and then still amortize some of those costs associated with development or tooling or just general minimum order requirements that a factory may have. That's not a huge issue. So for the most part, I think RH is pretty free to say, hey, we're going to take this collection and simply cut it in half, go from 4 finishes to 2 finishes, or go from 4 sizes to 2 sizes and have the full support of the factory. In other cases, they might just decide to kill a whole collection, which in many cases is good for the vendor too, because they're not ordering most of those SKUs anyway. And then when they do want to order some of the SKUs that are performing okay, the quantities can be so painfully small that it's not really profitable for the vendor. So there's many cases where they're okay saying, yeah, let's kick this collection in the head and move forward with other collections that are more profitable on a SKU basis, because if they're more profitable for RH on the SKU basis, they're certainly more profitable for the factory as well. And it's generally, highly collaborative, the process of rationalizing and discontinuing SKUs, RH in connection with their factories. So to your point, sometimes it could be keeping a collection and trimming it. Other times it could be killing a collection overall. And then there's other agents that are involved in that as well. I mean, there's certain SKUs, certain collections that maybe, even though they're not performing as well as everybody had hoped they would, they're still really popular with, say, the gallery team or the source book team. And in terms of the aesthetic being created in those environments, they really still love this artifact lamp, or they love this, riveted mirror. So there could be certain items that even when they get the feedback, hey, these really aren't selling very well, shouldn't we be showing something else? They'll debate it internally, and in a lot of cases agree that, yeah, you know what, we should be keeping that in the line, because I see your point. It's kind of filling a gap, aesthetically, and we want to keep it in because it helps us fill out these rooms for the source book or the gallery. So it's, it's generally a highly collaborative process, figuring out what to discontinue and what to keep.
And then
I didn't know it was 40%. That's a huge number.
I mean, that's why I asked you that question, because when I'm thinking about 40%, I feel like, I'm just curious, how this could be done. That's why I asked you, because, if entire collections are going, in some cases, I just wondered,
Yeah, I mean, look, if this is what I told everybody internally, is that if we're doing SKU rationalization, that means we did something wrong, right? So the more SKU rat that we're doing, the better it is in terms of cleaning out, driving SKU profitability. But the more SKU rat we're doing, that means the worse job we did, in terms of really vetting a collection, product, style, vendor. Sometimes they're discontinuing collections because a vendor simply can't perform. They can't hit their ship dates. They can't meet capacity. It could be, a material supply problem. It could be lower yields than they thought. It could be any number of things. Generally, though, it's that customers aren't buying it because they don't like it. So if RH is doing 40% SKU rat, that would be my initial feedback is, Jesus, you guys, I mean, that's like an F in terms of understanding what your customers really want and buying it right. And I think that's one of the changes that's happened, say, now versus 3 or 4 years ago, is that if they get really excited about, say, a credenza or some cabinet or a bed, instead of coming out of the gates with 4 finishes and every imaginable size, they're coming out with, say, 1 or 2 finishes